You might reach for a bowl of what seems like pure health, perhaps brimming with fresh blueberries, confident you're making the right choice. But the truth is, some of the most common breakfast combinations could be silently undermining the strength in your muscles, particularly in your legs. That may sound counterintuitive. After all, blueberries are celebrated for their antioxidants, aren't they? They are, but the benefits of any food are not just about what you eat, but about what you eat with it. Today, we'll explore 8 foods that may be sabotaging your muscle health when paired with blueberries. These aren't exotic ingredients you'd seldom encounter. They are everyday favorites, perhaps items you've eaten this very week without a second thought. And their impact on your body, especially if you're over 60, might just change the way you plan your next meal. So if you've noticed your legs tiring more easily, or your strength isn't what it once was, don't dismiss it as just a sign of aging. Your breakfast could be playing a far bigger role than you imagine. Let's begin with our first culprit and see why it might be time to rethink that creamy cup of flavored yogurt. That creamy fruit swirl yogurt you grab in the morning. It might taste like a sweet little gift to your health, but it's often loaded with more sugar than a slice of cake. Flavored yogurts, particularly the fruit-on-the-bottom varieties, can contain over 20 grams of sugar in a single serving. That's the equivalent of 5 teaspoons of sugar stirred into your breakfast. Here's the problem. When you combine a high-sugar food with something as nutritionally potent as blueberries, you're not doing your body any favors. You're creating a recipe for inflammation. Studies from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology have shown that excess sugar in the bloodstream triggers systemic inflammation, which directly interferes with muscle recovery and performance. This means slower healing after your daily walks or workouts, and more stiffness in your legs. As we age, our muscles rely on a steady supply of fuel and a calm internal environment to rebuild and maintain their strength. But a surge of sugar causes a spike in insulin, followed by a crash that leaves your muscles struggling to recover. Over time, instead of growing stronger, they are progressively weakened. Picture it. You start your day with a blueberry parfait, thinking it's a victory for your health. But the sweetened yogurt is flooding your body with sugar, effectively dulling the antioxidant power of the blueberries and canceling out their benefits. A 2021 study in Nutrition Research Reviews found that the absorption of polyphenols, the very compounds that make blueberries a superfood, can be significantly reduced in the presence of high sugar levels. So, what's the alternative? When you reach for yogurt, choose plain Greek yogurt. Add your own fresh blueberries and perhaps a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor without the sugar spike. This way, your muscles receive the protein they need, inflammation is kept at bay, and those blueberries can finally shine. Now that we've cleared up the yogurt situation, let's turn to another breakfast favorite that might be working against your muscles. That crunchy bowl of cereal. It can feel like a nostalgic hug from childhood. You pour some flakes into a bowl, add a handful of blueberries, a splash of milk, and breakfast is served. But behind this simple ritual, something else is happening. Most refined cereals, even those marketed as healthy, have been stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients. What remains is primarily fast-digesting starch, which your body breaks down into sugar almost instantly, sending your blood glucose soaring. Your body responds with a rush of insulin, leading to that same familiar sugar crash we saw with the yogurt. But more critically, this constant cycle interferes with how your body absorbs and utilizes protein, the essential building block your muscles desperately need, especially after the age of 60. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Physiology demonstrated that when blood sugar is elevated, Muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle, actually slows down. And if your cereal of choice is a sweetened granola or a frosted variety, the effect is compounded. Think of your muscles as a construction crew and protein as their supply of bricks. When your bloodstream is flooded with sugar, it's as if the delivery trucks can't get through. Instead of building stronger legs, your body is stuck in maintenance mode. Or worse, it begins to break down existing muscle. If you love your morning cereal, there's no need to give it up entirely. Simply switch to whole grain oats or a high-fiber cereal with no added sugar. Top it with blueberries and some unsweetened almond milk, and your breakfast is transformed into a muscle-supporting powerhouse. Ready for the next item on our list? Let's bite into something warm, fluffy, and perhaps not as innocent as it appears. Warm, golden pancakes stacked high, dotted with blueberries and drizzled with syrup. It sounds like pure comfort on a plate, a classic weekend treat for many, but you may not realize that hidden beneath the fluff and sweetness is a perfect storm for muscle decline. Pancakes and waffles are typically made with refined white flour, a fast-digesting carbohydrate. When you combine that with sugary toppings like syrup, you're delivering a double hit of simple carbs and sugar to your system. It's a recipe that spikes blood sugar rapidly, and when this becomes a habit, your muscle health pays the price. Here's why. A 2019 study in the journal Metabolism found that diets high in refined carbohydrates and sugars are linked to an increase in visceral fat, the dangerous type that wraps around your internal organs. This kind of fat is particularly harmful because it produces hormones that can disrupt testosterone levels. And testosterone isn't just for bodybuilders. It plays a vital role in maintaining muscle mass and bone strength in both men and women, especially as we age. So, while you're enjoying those tasty blueberry pancakes, they might be slowly lowering your testosterone over time, leading to diminished leg strength, a slower metabolism, and a creeping sense of weakness. And no, that handful of blueberries on top cannot undo the damage when they're swimming in a sea of syrup and flour. What's a better approach? If you crave pancakes, try making them at home with almond or oat flour. Use mashed bananas or unsweetened applesauce for natural sweetness. Top them with fresh blueberries and, if you must, a very light drizzle of pure maple syrup. This simple change allows you to enjoy the treat without compromising your strength. Now, let's cool things down and see why your favorite frozen dessert could be chilling your muscle gains. Ice cream. That creamy, cold scoop of joy, especially when it's blueberry-flavored or part of a decadent cheesecake. It feels like a small indulgence, something that surely couldn't cause much harm. But when it comes to your muscles and your body's ability to absorb nutrients, this sweet treat can be more detrimental than you think. Most commercial ice creams and desserts, like blueberry cheesecake, are loaded with two things: saturated fats and added sugars. It's a dangerous duo. When consumed in excess, saturated fats can interfere with your body's ability to use the antioxidants from healthy foods, like blueberries. According to a 2022 study in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, high levels of saturated fat can actually block the cellular uptake of anthocyanins, the very antioxidant compounds that give blueberries their powerful health benefits. This means that even though you're eating the blueberries, your body may not be absorbing their protective nutrients. The sugar in these desserts only compounds the problem by fueling inflammation in your digestive system, weakening your immune response, and contributing to overall muscle fatigue. Imagine this. You've had a light dinner, and decide to treat yourself to some blueberry ice cream. It seems harmless, but instead of helping your body recover from the day, the sugar and fat are silently slowing down its repair processes, leaving your muscles stiffer and more prone to cramping the next morning. If you're craving something cold and sweet, try blending frozen, plain Greek yogurt with fresh blueberries and a touch of vanilla extract. You'll get that same creamy satisfaction without robbing your body of its chance to heal and stay strong. Let's continue, because even a meal that seems undeniably healthy, like a warm bowl of oats with a little honey, has a hidden twist. Oatmeal and honey. It sounds like the epitome of a wholesome, heartwarming breakfast, rich in fiber, naturally sweet, and often paired with fresh blueberries. What could possibly go wrong? Well, when it comes to supporting your muscles, especially after age 60, this seemingly perfect combination might be more of a hindrance than a help. The key issue is digestion. Oatmeal is high in soluble fiber, which is excellent for heart health. But when you add honey, which is essentially pure sugar, you're asking your gut to perform two conflicting tasks at once. The fiber slows digestion down, while the sugar tries to speed it up. This can confuse your digestive system, leading to bloating, discomfort, and, most importantly, slower nutrient absorption. Why does that matter? After exercise, or even a long walk, your muscles are primed to absorb protein and begin the rebuilding process. But if your gut is preoccupied with digesting a heavy, high-fiber, high-sugar meal, the protein you've consumed might not get to where it needs to go in time. In fact, a 2018 study in Clinical Nutrition found that post-workout meals high in both fiber and sugar delayed the uptake of amino acids into the muscles by over 30%. That's a significant delay. It means your muscles aren't getting the building blocks they need to recover and grow stronger, leaving you feeling more tired and sore. So, if oatmeal is your morning ritual, consider a small tweak. Use rolled oats instead of instant, skip the honey, and sweeten your bowl naturally with cinnamon or mashed banana. Add a spoonful of protein, like plain Greek yogurt or a few crushed nuts, to ensure your muscles get exactly what they need, right when they need it. We've stirred through the warm and hearty. Now let's sip on something you might never have guessed could quietly steal your strength. Coffee and tea, the familiar comforts that start the day for millions. It's unthinkable for many to face the morning without that warm mug in hand. But if you're sipping your coffee or tea right before or after enjoying a meal with blueberries, you should know that the caffeine might be quietly interfering with your body's ability to absorb a crucial mineral: iron. Why is iron so important for your muscles? Iron is essential for transporting oxygen in your blood. When your iron levels drop, even slightly, your muscles, especially in your legs, don't receive the oxygen they need to function optimally. This can lead to feelings of fatigue, heaviness, and weakness over time. A 2017 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking coffee or tea with meals rich in antioxidants, like blueberries, can reduce iron absorption by up to 60%. That is a staggering drop, one that can significantly impact your energy and muscle function, especially if you're already prone to low iron levels, a common issue in older adults. Think of it this way. You're trying to boost your health by adding blueberries to your breakfast, but if you wash it all down with coffee, your body may be unable to absorb the iron it needs from your meal. Over time, This can contribute to mild anemia, slower recovery from activity, and more muscle soreness than usual. The solution is simple. Try to space your coffee or tea at least 1 hour before or after eating blueberries or other iron-rich foods. That simple shift gives your body a much better chance to absorb the iron it needs, without caffeine getting in the way. We've covered a lot, but there's one more surprise on the plate. Something green and leafy that's often praised for its health benefits, but could be holding your bones and muscles back. Spinach is a food that wears a health halo. Toss a handful of raw leaves into a smoothie or salad, and it feels like an instant win for your body. But if you are regularly eating raw spinach alongside blueberries, especially in the same meal, there's a hidden catch that could be quietly weakening your bones and muscles. Raw spinach is high in oxalates, which are natural compounds that can bind to minerals in your gut, particularly calcium. As you know, calcium is critical not just for strong bones, but also for proper muscle contractions. Without enough available calcium, your muscles may cramp more easily, feel tired faster, and recover more slowly after physical activity. When oxalates bind with calcium in your digestive tract, they form crystals that your body cannot absorb. This means that even if you're consuming enough calcium, your body might not be getting it. A 2016 study in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition showed that a regular intake of high oxalate foods, especially in their raw form, significantly reduced calcium absorption in older adults. Imagine making a fresh blueberry and spinach salad, thinking it's the perfect light lunch. Over time, however, the oxalates from the raw spinach could be interfering with the very minerals your muscles and bones depend on, leading to weakness, stiffness, and even an increased risk of falls. This doesn't mean spinach is bad, far from it, but how you prepare it matters. Lightly steaming spinach can reduce its oxalate content by over 40%, making the calcium in your meal far more accessible. And when you pair it with foods rich in vitamin C, like bell peppers or a squeeze of lemon, you help your body absorb even more nutrients. It's a small step that can make a big difference. Now that we've peeled back the truth on these innocent-looking combinations, let's look at one of the sneakiest culprits of all: the mixed fruit smoothie. Mixed fruit smoothies often wear the disguise of ultimate health, colorful, refreshing, and packed with fruits like bananas, pineapples, grapes, and of course, blueberries. But for adults over 60, especially those trying to preserve muscle strength, this combination can be silently working against you. When blueberries are blended with other high-sugar fruits like ripe bananas or mangoes, the total sugar content of the smoothie can skyrocket. And while it may be natural sugar, it still causes a sharp rise in blood glucose. This spike triggers an insulin response that, over time, promotes inflammation throughout the body, one of the silent enemies of muscle health. In seniors, this can reduce the efficiency of muscle protein synthesis, accelerating age-related muscle loss, particularly in the legs. To make matters worse, many people add flavored yogurts, fruit juices, or sweetened protein powders to their smoothies, thinking they're boosting nutrition. But these extras often add more sugar and artificial ingredients that increase oxidative stress and disrupt muscle recovery. Instead of nourishing your muscles, you may be unintentionally draining their strength sip by sip. You might feel fine at first, but gradually you could notice your legs tiring faster on walks, stairs feeling steeper, or your balance becoming harder to maintain. These are the subtle signs of muscle decline, and often the culprits are hiding in your blender. Now you understand how to make those tiny, powerful berries truly work for you. This isn't about cutting out your favorite foods. It's about making smart choices and understanding the combinations that help your muscles, not hold them back. Our bodies change with time, and every choice we make at the table adds up. You don't need a drastic overhaul, just a few mindful tweaks, like swapping sweetened yogurt for plain, giving spinach a quick steam, or waiting an hour for that cup of coffee, can help keep your legs stronger for longer. Your plate holds more power than you realize. With a bit of attention, it can support the strength, balance, and energy you need to move freely through your life. If you found this information helpful, please give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to Health 365. And if you have questions or want to share your own healthy combinations, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care of those muscles. They've carried you this far, and they still have places to go.